Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how I draw. What I usually do is I start off by just drawing where I want the chin line to be. As, you know, just kind of like this. This is really hard to do while holding the phone, so I might cut out and draw it and explain later. And after that, I add a line to the side I want the character to be facing. Since we're going to be having him facing the left, we're going to add a line right here. And now this is the point where I usually change depending on what I'm trying to draw. Since we're just going for a normal drawing here, then I'll start drawing the neck. That's not a very big neck, but we'll come back and fix it. So after that, what I do is I take a circle of where I want one shoulder to be, another circle, and boom. And then right after that, I'm going to just... Now this is the point where it changes depending on what pose you're doing. So usually what I do is I take it, and I draw kind of like a trapezoid somewhat. This is going to be the top body. And if I want to be especially specific, I just put a line to show what position they are facing. Because sometimes the head can be facing one way and the body will be facing another. And then, I usually do this to represent the bottom part of the body. Since we're only going to be doing a normal standard pose, we're not really going to go too crazy. However, in the event that you do want to go nuts, you can change this bottom part however you want. So you can have it facing this way if you want them to be like laying back or whatever. This is really just supposed to be up for the imagination. This is not a end-all be-all of all art ever. If it was, art would be really crappy. Usually at this point, I usually take it and I make face lines. That's what I call them. That's probably not at all what they're supposed to be called. Here's the fun part. I have to draw eyes. So usually, it starts off pretty normal. I just draw an oval or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit close to the mouth, but it's fine. Here comes the unfun part. I have to do that exact same thing, but on the other side. I'll come back when I do that. So I was very lucky, and I only had to do it a second time. This is very rare because most of the time I have to do it over and over and over. Now here comes the other fun part. I have to do this, but make it somewhat similar on this side. Luckily, I was lucky enough for it to work the first time. This is not something that's probably very rare, easily to happen if you're just drawing, or if you're me and your luck is absolute doodle cheeks. Alright, I cleaned up the face a little, but I finally got the eyes to be as good as I wanted them to, or as good as needed. Because at this point where I usually draw the arms. I try to keep them about the same size, but you might change them depending on how wide the shoulders are. Because of the distance of whatever eye stuff, I don't know. So usually by this point, what I do is, you see that before. So I take it, and I make one hand, take it, and make the other. And as you can see, it makes me look like he's shrugging. Now for a part that I'm not very good at, and I'm still learning, is legs. So usually I put right here to put where the body ends and the leg begins. So I guess we can just kind of have them be, this. And the other leg, you don't have to be very, to make that better. Okay, so that we have all of this done, I want to check and see if you like the proportions. Some people have a more cartoonish or they like. This one, it's alright. I don't know why it looks different. Like, it looks different on the camera than it does with my actual eyes. I think these are a bit too small, but you can draw it however you want. I think I'm going to keep them this way, only for the sake of simplicity, and I'll get back when I draw kind of the stuff that you can just kind of do on your own. We had the legs kind of close together. That's not something I normally do. That's a lie. I do that a lot. So I guess I want to stop doing that. I guess I can take it back and I can redo this. So I'll be back. So we've erased all the stuff that we are gonna change. One leg right here. I guess another right here. Because his leg would be a little bit different from the other one, of course, because they're entirely on the other side of the body. It actually doesn't look that bad. Now that everything is ready, we can start doing the details. Since we're going to be just drawing a human, I usually do draw furries sometimes, but I guess since we're just going to do a general drawing, we can just draw a human. For humans, I usually try and go for do the hair first. And you want to always keep like the skull. I guess I should start drawing the skull. Something I need to start doing more often. But I'm gonna come back once I draw the hair. You can always do hair whatever you like. Everybody has a different way of drawing their hair. I said hair like 10 times in that sentence. Okay, I've drawn the hair and the eyebrows, and now that I'm looking at this, the hands really do look Lego-y. Actually, I have a Lego guy for reference. So you can see how here, like, it looks kind of just very simple shapes and stuff. Let's fix that. So I guess what we can do is we can try and make them thinner. Kind of add, just like that. although they do kind of look like claws.
Big, meaty claws!
I can fix that. Yeah. Okay. That was just the... Okay, so the camera needed to focus for a second. So we have this, and the torso and the leg portions are kind of off, but I can fix that later, or I can decide not to, because I'm really lazy. So what I want to do here is I'm going to start drawing the mouth. So, okay, this is going to be really hard to do with the camera in my hand. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut it, but I'm going to come back once I draw the mouth. Okay, so I've drawn the mouth. I've kind of given this whole, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Wow, it's almost as if I knew this the entire time. So, I'm bored, right? This kind of looks very, normal. And you see, I'm very abnormal, so I'm gonna give it a tail. Why? Because I'm still different. So we have the tail for what we're trying to do. And what else do we want to do? We could draw clothes. Actually, yeah, let's draw clothes. I guess for this character we can give him... let's give him a hoodie. Hoodies are pretty easy to do. They don't require a whole lot of skill. Although, maybe just for me, because I drew a whole bunch of Sans when I was uber into Undertale. So for like a hoodie, you want to kind of have it be like... Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, this is extremely hard to do with just one hand. I'm gonna come back and I'll show you what I did. Okay, so one thing, so I drew the hoodie, it's almost done. I noticed that the legs were not very good in comparison to the whole torso, so I'm gonna fix that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just kind of erase the feet. And yeah, as you can tell, there's a lot of going back and fixing things, and that's just how I draw. I'll just start off with what I want to draw, and then I'll find stuff that I don't like about it and fix it later. That's just how I do it. There we go, much better. So that doesn't look like the legs are like half the size of the torso, and you have it just normal human. Now, I like to give my characters a theme, and since this guy kind of gives me lots of squirrel themes, I'm gonna make him like a half squirrel, half person thingy. So I guess what we could do is, normally I have a reference for this, but since we're just gonna be doing this as quickly as we can, I'm just gonna give him this. Yeah, it's cute. Now to add more details. So as you can tell, I added like a darker part to show where the ear begins and the inside of the ear. I had these little swirlies to the inside of the eye to kind of show like the iris, I guess? I don't know, I've always done that, I've never wondered why. I'm gonna draw like a little symbol right here, or to kind of add like a whole more like, oh, look from here, I don't know. It always makes the character, when you have something in the middle of their shirt or something on their shirt, it allows people to kind of travel around the character design more easily. It gives them something to look at. Alright, so I've changed a bit, like I added a swirl into the tail, made it more squirrel-like, and I gave it a little acorn on this hoodie. So I think I'm probably gonna, get rid of like these shoulder things, and maybe I'll add a little bit of blush, and I'll add a dark part to his eyes. Okay, here's the finished product. I kind of I have a very cutesy art style, as you can tell. I give him kind of a little bit of this, give that like anime, like, oh, like the surprise almost. I gave him, the dark green sides. The eyes didn't come out super well. I feel like they could always be better. And I like to do sometimes different cool little shapes inside the eyes, but I couldn't really do that since my hand didn't want to do anything. And, well, yeah, I gave him a little hoodie. I have yet to erase that. Hold on. Alright, I got rid of the little shoulder things. And you can add shading if you want. I sometimes do, but just for this drawing, I won't be doing that because everybody does that differently. Well, this has been how I draw, and if you guys want me to do more, like, how-to videos like this, please like, subscribe, and comment if you'd like. See you then.